Everett's Mayor Carlo DiMaria says the city is investigating the meme. He also said he's seen some of this behavior from other elected officials. So my next guest knows a thing or two about comedy and politics, two areas that sadly intersect more than most of us would like. Jimmy Tingle has been a mainstay on the Boston and national comedy scene for more than 20 years. And in an act of textbook masochism a few years back, he ran for lieutenant governor here. Recently, he's dived into a new forum, podcasting with the Jimmy Tingle Show. And this Saturday, you can see him at the Cabot Theater in Beverly. And ahead of that, you can see him right here. Jimmy Tingle, it's nice to see you.
Great to see you, Jim. Thanks so much for having me on again.
It's my pleasure. Now, I was reading the announcement from the Cabot Theater about you being there. Yeah. And it says, if laughter is the best medicine, then Jimmy Tingle is the Surgeon General of political humor, which I think needs clarification.
Yeah.
Surgeon General like Vivek Murthy, who believes in science, or the Florida Attorney General, who doesn't believe in masks or COVID or vaccines for kids? Which one are you talking about?
The first one.
First one, the good one. You like the I figured that was the case. How long has it been, or was it, during which time you didn't perform in front of live audiences?
Oh, probably a year and a half.
How hard was that?
It was tough, you know. We stayed in the house like everybody else. I got on Zoom. I'd learned my whole media game came up a lot more. I'm figuring out Twitter. I'm not as good as the former president, but I'm up there. I put out a tweet, Martin Luther King Day. Put a little love out on Martin Luther King Day. Hey, everybody, happy at MLK Day. End at racism. End at sexism. End at anti-Semitism. Send. My son, who's a millennial, said, Dad, when you send a tweet like that, you don't want to use the @ sign. You want to use the hashtag. Hashtag end racism, hashtag end sexism, hashtag end anti-Semitism. Because when you use the @ sign, the tweet goes to the racists and the sexists and the anti-Semites.
So was it like riding a bicycle when you get back? I'm serious about this. In front of a live audience. Is it hard, or it just flows like it always did?
Well, once you get into it, it comes back pretty easily. But it took a little while to get back on stage. And one of the things I'm just so excited about is getting back on stage and just in this dire time in so many aspects of our lives, in the media and everything in the news, just to make people laugh and have some fun.
You know, your format is sort of the one-person show kind of deal. I don't think I've ever asked you this. What's the genesis of that? Where'd that come from?
Well, one of the first things I did when I first started performing, I used to do street performing up in Harvard Square. And I admit, Jim, there's a fine line between street performing and simply being drunk in public. I admit that.
You're not playing the harmonica, are you?
No, but I'd go up there with my harmonica. Hey, everybody. My name's Jimmy Tingle. I'm an aspiring comedian. I want to try a few jokes on you. Would that be okay? My friends say, you want to get in shape, Jimmy, just lift weights, man, lift weights. I'm saying, Jim, lift weights. What for? Those things are heavy. People tell me to jog. Get out there and jog, Jim. Jog, jog, jog. If you can jog 1 mile, you could jog the Boston Marathon. Calm down. I can't drive 26 miles without pulling over to hit a men's room. So it was this type of thing when I first started.
Wait a second. Was that Harvard Square or the Catskills? Where was that you were doing?
Square. That was Harvard Square.
And that kind of humor went over in Harvard Square?
No, it didn't. In the middle of one of my sets, this very professorial woman walks up to me and she says, "Excuse me, young man. I think what you do is very interesting. I don't think you should subject everybody to it."
Exactly.
And she was absolutely right.
It's incredible your mother said that. Totally inappropriate as far as... So, Jimmy, you're a topical kind of comedian. And I was thinking about you, obviously, because you're coming in today. You spend a lot of time on the Cape. You perform in Wellfleet all the time. Fabulous stuff. A big issue on the Cape, obviously, is climate change, which the Cape is like this close to disappearing.
Right.
Do you talk climate change in your bit?
A little bit, yeah. I mean,
Like
it's
what?
obviously real, and it's very serious. And I think the denial has got to be broken, because climate change is not only separating whole countries, separating regions of countries, it's also climate change is separating families, Jim. Right here in Massachusetts, the blizzard of 2015, we had 9 feet of snow. You remember that? Everybody had to shovel out their own parking space. I came home from work. I saw a woman pulling into my parking space. I said, "Excuse me, miss. Excuse me. That's my space. Excuse me. With all due respect, it took me 3 hours to shovel that out. That's my space. Excuse me. I don't care if we're married. That's my space. That is my space. You get your own space. We'll discuss this at dinner."
So, like, what are the kinds of stuff? I mean, last week I was lucky. I had Stevie Van Zandt on. I had Lisa Fisher. You don't sing in your act, do you? You don't. Well, exactly. That's why I said you don't sing.
Harmonica.
So tell me a little bit more. What are you talking about?
I do the one-person shows, you know, and the way I started, I saw Jackie Mason on Broadway. 1989, Jackie Mason, great Jewish comic, was doing a one-person show, The World According to Me. I walked into this place. It was unbelievable, Jim. 2,500 people laughing hysterically. When 2,500 people laugh in a theater, you could feel the vibrations. I was in the first row of the balcony. I was holding onto the railing. I had this epiphany. I knew at that moment what I wanted to be, a Jewish comic.
By the way, is that really where it started? I mean, is that...
That's where I got the idea to do one-person shows, because it's so compelling. Do you know what it's like to be on stage when 2,500 people are laughing hysterically at everything you say? Me either. But my point is this. I wanted to find out. So what I started to do, Jim, I started to rent theaters and put myself in it. And you might remember this little theater. The Back Alley Theater was in Inman Square, Cambridge. A little place, hold 35, 40 people. I rented it out because I was trying my one-person shows. And on opening night, 10 minutes before the show started, I looked through the curtain to see how many of my friends and relatives and fans had showed up. One person in the audience, my mother. I look at her, she looks at me, we both burst out laughing. I said, Mom, I can't believe you're the only person that showed up. Oh, don't worry, your father's parking the car. So we had two people that night.
God. So our audience is different. Are you different when you're on the stage after this nightmare the last year and a half? And by the way, the nightmare the last year and a half segues into another nightmare, obviously an international nightmare.
Yeah.
Are you different? Is the audience different?
I think I've done a lot more reflecting. That's one of the reasons in the show that I'll be doing at the Cabot Saturday night. It's called Jimmy Tingle Live, Humor for Humanity. I'm just trying to raise issues, make people feel better, hopefully get some laughs and leave with something positive, because it's just tough out there right now with everything that's going on. So I would say, yeah, I am different. Although I tried very hard to maintain my sanity, what I got into doing, Jim, I did a lot of walking. I go out walking by the Charles River late at night, 10, 11, 12 at night. I put the hoodie on, you know, the hat, the hoodie over the hat, the mask. All you could see were my eyes. And I walk on the Charles River. And it was so meditative and so beautiful, and you could process everything. The only time it was a little unnerving is when I see somebody dressed exactly like me coming at me. Then I start thinking, what kind of a lunatic is out at this hour? What kind of an axe murderer is walking around the Charles River at midnight?
Well, if people are out, they should go to the Cabot Theater. Jimmy, it is great to see you. Good luck.
Great to see you too, Jim. Thanks so much for having me.
My
and I
pleasure.
hope all your folks are okay there, safe and sound.
Be well.
Thank you.